What's good, YouTube? DM Gaming here, guys. Hope you have an awesome morning. It's early for me. Still a little stuffed up, as you could tell. But, guys, we got the V-Jump scans, and once again, the nail has been hit directly on the head. You get what I'm saying? I want to play this excerpt for you. Just please bear with me. It only lasts less than a minute. And this video, this is from one of my videos back in March. And I've said this before March, but I just want to play this in the video that I did back in March. And we'll get into the V-Jump scans. Let's play it real quick. Let me get in deeper, guys. Because if we go back to the Cell Saga, there's some things that were clearly left out. And seeing as that they knew they were doing the whole Trunks thing for DLC 3, leads me to believe full well that they purposely left some of this stuff out to include it later on. You get what I'm saying? So the future Trunks stuff, we know, we did the fight with Frieza. But we didn't do is train with Vegeta in the time chamber. We also didn't fight against Perfect Cell as Super Saiyan level 2 or Super Saiyan grade 2 Trunks. That fight was left out, and that was a pretty big fight that was left out of the main game. Also, at the end of the Cell Saga, we didn't get that whole fight with Trunks and the androids going back into his timeline, as well as Trunks in the Trunks fighting against Cell at the end. You see what I'm saying? And this is some anime. So guys, if you want to, you can go and check out that video. I'm going to put a link to it in the description. It's the video titled Deeper Story Than the Main Game, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot DLC 3 Trunks Warrior of Hope. And in this video, guys, I am talking about, because people asked the question early on, and they kept asking, how is the game going to be 8 to 12 hours? How is the DLC going to be on par with an arc? And I talk about it in this video. And I also in this video, for those, some people were still wondering, why did we get Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue first? I've talked about that as well. This video got a pretty good amount of views, so a good amount of y'all saw this and listened to this. But go back and check out this video. Like I said, a link to this will be in the description box below, where I did talk about exactly what they would do in this DLC. And I probably also talked about it here as well. So guys, please go check out those videos, just so you know I'm not blowing smoke when I tell you we hit the nail on the head again. So the V-Jump scans are out, and we get to fight Imperfect Cell. Entertain me. And this is really dope. And I told y'all that the V-Jump scans that Rao Kucha, or the translations that he put out, were very So, but we got the V-Jump and we got some better translations here. So we have Imperfect Cell, and he is more than likely, I'm going to say this. I'm still not sold that he is the main end boss. Does that make sense? I'm still not sold on that, okay? The reason why, I'm going to tell you why as I explain the scans. So here we're showing Imperfect Cell, and there's something very interesting that's not mentioned in the scans, and that is how difficult Cell is. They do mention in the previous V-Jump scans how difficult Golden Frieza was. They do mention how difficult Beerus was. There is no mention of how difficult Cell is. And they don't really mention how difficult the androids are, but we already know how difficult the android fight was going to be before Trunks goes back into the past. But they haven't put out that article yet. I am going to look for it when it pops up, because I'm sure they're going to do it. They always do an article on DLC 3 for Bandai Namco EU, or the Europe. And when they do that, we'll go over that. But with this one in particular, they're not saying anything about Cell being difficult or hard to beat or anything of that nature. In the first scan up here, we have Cell using the Spirit Bomb, or the Jinki Dama. Here we have Cell charging Trunks. Let me, I'm gonna see if I can, let me open this in a new tab. I don't know if I can zoom in on this, guys. I'm trying to, there we go. Okay, so up here, we can't do that. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's do it like that. There we go. Up here we have Cell doing the Jinky Dama, and that's what it talks about here in these scans right here in these translations. Just Cell doing the Jinky Dama, using the Spirit Bomb. He's charging Trunks right here, and I love this Key Blast right here from Cell right here in this scan. Now, what do you notice right off the bat? Oh, snap. Trunks is wearing his Saiyan armor. The same armor that he was going to wear before when he was finna go back in time to meet the Z Warriors again, dude. That is so dope. Trunks has also grown in stature. Therefore, we know this is a different Trunks. It's actually the same Trunks from the DLC, but I'm gonna get into that. It's still cool. It lets you know that we've went ahead in time. It's forward in time. Okay. And now we have Cell here doing a Kamehameha. Kamehameha. I'm just telling you, man. Hold on, man. We gotta roll the intro real quick. Roll the intro. All right, guys, like I said, back to the scans. Had to roll that real quick. Subscribe to the channel, man. Hit the sub button, bro. Hit the sub button. We're trying to reach 1 million subscribers. That's the end goal, okay? So we have Cell doing the Kamehameha wave. And then down here, we have a destroyed city. And we have Android 17 and 18 having fun. We have Gohan here. Him and Trunks sitting by the campfire. Chilling on it. And then, let me scoot this over a little bit. This is important. We got Gohan here, badly beaten and bruised. He has the cut on his eye. I can't tell if he has it in this scan or not. And then what do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? We have the scan of Trunks finally going Super Saiyan. This is all together. Trunks is clearly knocked out here. You can tell he's on the ground, and this translation here basically says, it talks about the end game or the end. This is the end of the story in a sense. This isn't when Trunks comes back. This is before he ever even leaves. And this is when Gohan, I would like to think that this is when Gohan dies. Now we know that Trunks found Gohan dead in a puddle. I don't know if they're going to do it the same way, but we do see here where Trunks is actually going Super Saiyan. We can only speculate and assume that this is the first time that this is happening, but we're not sure. But it says, let's check out the ending. This is what this says. This translation here says right here, this part here says, let's check out the ending with your own eyes. And I don't think, and here's the thing, guys. The fact that we have Cell up here clearly is saying that this isn't the end, okay? We know that the Cell fight comes after he killed the android, so this isn't the end, okay? This is more or less, I think it's saying the end of Gohan. The end of adult Gohan, or future Gohan, if you will. That's my speculation, okay? Does that make sense? And I don't really know what that says. I couldn't get a good translation on that, so forgive me. Maybe somebody else can. But it says, let's check out the ending with our own eyes. And like I said, I think that has to do with Gohan, because you see him in Trunks. Maybe this is that last battle, and it doesn't show if Gohan has his other arm or not. I can't really tell. But you have the destroyed city, Trunks going Super Saiyan. I thought that was really, really dope. Now down here, you have Android 18, and this is the sub story that they were talking about. And as you can look in her eyes and tell, that's not the real Android 18. This is in fact Oolong, because we know whenever he transformed, him and Plar does this. When they transform, they have a different eyes, and basically it's not giving any real deep details about it. It's just telling you about the subquest that Android 18 has, and it's like I said, it's not going into detail. It says you can enjoy the story that will appear in the future world, even in the sub story that I asked the producer. They asked the producer about it. But like I said, that's just about Android 18. It says the fate here. It says the fate I love, number 18. Okay, and I couldn't get a translation on the stuff about the side part, but I'm pretty sure it's talking about Oolong transforming. Um, yeah, and that's what it's referring to. Remember in the V Jump scan, we got the stuff about Oolong transforming into 18 and stuff like that. Now, I don't know what this subquest will be about. I don't even know what the award will be, if there will be new soul emblems. And that's an interesting thing as well, is will there be more soul emblems for this DLC? Will we have a completely different community board to build in this DLC? And back up to this scan, I'm wondering, guys, if we will actually get to play the part where Trunks goes back in time. And that's what I talked about in that previous video. I'm really hoping we do. I think that would be really dope to be able to train with Vegeta, to be able to fight Cell in his perfect form as well. I don't think we will. It'll be kind of a wash to have to fight Cell in his perfect form and then have to come back and fight this Cell. But at the same time, it makes perfect sense, because if we are able to do that, then it makes sense to be able to witness how powerful Trunks has gotten. You get what I'm saying? So I think they're going to do something interesting with that. Like I said they could do this one of two ways. We could either actually play that part, or they can make it to where it's more of like a flashback and they just tell what happened when Trunks went back in time. But the fact that we're going to be fighting imperfect Cell, the fact that Trunks is wearing this gi and stuff like that, it shows that. It shows that without a shadow of a doubt. Now, here is where we get even more information on this. This is very interesting, okay? So, I'm going to open this up in a new tab so we can zoom in on it. So, here you have Trunks in his black shirt, which is, once again, very interesting, because Trunks wore this shirt when he came back to defeat the androids. My bad. I'm like all over the place. I know y'all can't see that. There we go. Trunks wore this whenever he went back in time to fight the androids. And so this scan is really the precursor to the other scan, but I thought that it would be interesting to show nonetheless. Now, what we see here, it says a fierce battle in the future world. DLC 3 is a story of future Trunks and Gohan fighting against the world of despair. Because you have Gohan here, now he has the scar on his eye, but he's a Super Saiyan, and he's doing the one-handed Kamehameha. Yes, indeed, he's using the one-handed Kamehameha. And so, you know, the big question is Gohan gonna die? I honestly think he is. It would be messed up if he didn't. You know what I'm saying? I think that Gohan's gonna die. Let's keep it like that. You see what I'm saying? But you have Trunks here using that blast. He's Super Saiyan, the black shirt on that he used when he killed the androids, his hair on fleek. And we have future Trunks actually here. Guys, let me zoom out of that. Future Trunks right here, man. And that's exactly what that scan also talks about. So it talks about that as well. This translation, after Gohan and his friends, this part here is interesting. Here, it says, after Gohan and his friends defeat the perfect Cell, this is talking about in the past timeline, the Goku's timeline, another ending that happened in the future world, Trunks' powerful special move. Guys, I told you, they left it out for a reason. It didn't make sense to me as to why they left that part out. They left that part out where Trunks goes back and kills the androids and Imperfect Cell because they wanted to include it in DLC 3. And they're talking about his special move. And they're talking about this one right here and this one here as well, where he basically and this with this translation, this says right here, after stabbing Android 18 in the original story and approaching the enemy quickly, handle the key wave with one hand. It's basically saying Trunks, like, he closes in on you real fast. Y'all remember in the anime version, it reminds me of Deborah's move against Kibito during the Buu saga, but y'all know the move that I'm talking about. Go watch the history of Trunks, or not the history of Trunks. Go watch the Dragon Ball Z, the end of the Cell saga, where Trunks just like flashes right before 18's face, and she's startled, and he just ends her, bro. She's done. You get what I'm saying? But that's what they're talking about with this move. And then, of course, we have this infamous move. The infamous move. Now, what's interesting about this is the move that he used to defeat Cell. He used this move to defeat Cell. And once again, I told y'all, they have it in the game. So, and we talked about this. And this right here says playable. Playable character. Everybody was wondering, see that? It even says it underneath it in English, but it's talking about Team Trunks. Team Trunks will be playable. So guys, this is interesting. And I really would have reserved this for a separate video, but since we're already here and I'm translating it from the V-Jump scans, future Trunks is going to be in DLC 3, it appears, okay? From the way that they're saying playable, this can go one of two ways. Pay attention. They can either make this the exact same Trunks as this little teen kid Trunks in a way, right here. They can make it the same Trunks as this one right here, this little Trunks right here, or this could be a separate Trunks that we unlock in the history of Trunks DLC in DLC 3. Okay, so let me say that again. It's not confirmed yet. My speculation, what I would have, actually, I like the idea of having two separate Trunks because they are going to have two different movesets. Because here they're literally talking about all the movesets that this Trunks has. But they say that he is playable. And that's exactly what it says. Playable character, okay? Trunks, playable character, Trunks. Very interesting, okay? Very, very interesting that they do that. And it says here, block the plan of form and regain the true future. Power up after training in the world. Cell, and it has in parentheses, it says Trunks who once lost to the android station, but the Cell, in parentheses, first form, that was built to collide with Trunks who became a young man. That's what this is saying here. So it's basically just talking about, it's referencing this fight here when Trunks basically defeats Cell and stuff like that. It's saying this is the same Trunks. So that may be giving us a clue as to this playable, quote unquote, playable character, because it says this is the same Trunks who once lost to the androids, okay, who later comes back to fight Imperfect Cell. So my question is this, is it going to be two different Trunks? Are we going to have this Trunks and this Trunks? Or are they going to do what they've done in the story? Let's go to this really fast. Are they going to do what they did in the story where, let me go to it, where they have here, like you have here, it has the playable characters. Like, look at this, for example. These are your playable characters, okay? You have Gohan here, playable character. And you see it shows he has different forms. You can play with him in different versions. But why, here's my question, if this is the case, people may ask, well, why say that he's playable? We already know that Trunks is playable. This can go one of two ways. Either one, he is a separate character, which I personally don't think that he is. I think what they're saying is you'll be able to play with the future version of Trunks. And remember what I told y'all, that people ask, well, why did they put Trunks in the ritual? Why did they put Trunks in as an unlockable character? Remember I told y'all, he is an unlockable character. That's exactly what Trunks is. He doesn't have anything to do with the past story, in that regard. He's brought back into the story as a playable character, kind of a preview character. So what I would like for them to do is to actually do these Trunkses the same way that they did Gohan. The same way that they did this Gohan, where he basically grew up. The same way that they did Vegeta. Because y'all remember Vegeta was done the same way. Vegeta's a playable character, but you had different forms of Vegeta, which they don't show here. But you had he had different armor of Vegeta. Gohan is the best example of that. Right now, when you look at Trunks, it just has this form of Trunks as a playable character. But we know that this Trunks is missing these moves. So now future Trunks is going to get new moves. Now, is he going to get a new transformation? I don't know. But he's definitely going to be getting new moves. Now, will these moves be playable in the main game? I believe yes, indeed they will. So this could answer the question as to why were we made to level up this Trunks. Okay, because what they could do is make it two different characters where we will be able to play with the Trunks that we've unlocked in the game already. He gets a new move list, okay? He gets new moves added to him. Guys, because it says here that we have to train in the city. That's exactly what this translates to down here. This translation down here translates to we'll be able to train in the city, okay? So being able to train in the city, I'm going to move that up for y'all. That tells us that when we go back in time after the Cell Saga, that Trunks is still training. Remember, guys, when Trunks went back in time after the Cell Saga, he didn't fight Cell until about 3 years. Another 3 years had passed before he fought Cell. Okay? So that lets you know right there that when we go back in time, we're going to have this Trunks. So here's my speculation. I want to lay this out here, and I could be wrong, but this is my speculation. We play with this particular Trunks all the way through the main story of the Trunks thing, just like in the history of Trunks. However, when it gets to the point where he goes back in time with the time machine, we will switch to this Trunks. This Trunks becomes playable. And once he becomes playable, we're flying around with this Trunks, training, unlocking moves and things like that, new move sets and stuff like that at the current level that whatever this Trunks is at. So if you're at level 300 with this Trunks, good job. That, in my opinion, would make the most sense to us to be able to use this Trunks. Because like I said, the big question is, why are we able to level him to level 300? What is the point if he's useless in the game in a sense? Well, maybe this is why, because level 300 will be able to use him, utilize him, and get those new moves. I don't think you can really fail either way that you do it. In my opinion, it would have been it would have made more sense to me to actually just keep it as one character, similar to how they did with Gohan here, how he was able to age and we used different versions of him. Because remember, they said that all of these characters were playable. You see what I'm saying? And then we find out that, oh, Gohan ages and you just play with one singular Gohan. You see? So it's possible they could do Trunks the same way. Because like I said, even when you look at this, it says playable character. It would say the same thing for Gohan. But if they showed a scan and they had this Gohan, it would literally say the same thing. And it does. Playable character. You get what I'm saying? So it's my belief, even with Super Saiyan Teen Gohan, it says what? Playable. But you can't select all three different Gohans. You can only select one Gohan and he ages as the story goes on. So all three of them are listed as playable characters, yet they're only one character. So they could do the same thing with this Trunks, but what they could do is once he reaches the Teen Trunks age or stage, they would merge the Trunks that we have in the main game. Does that make sense? Because notice this, whenever we have this Trunks, he's unlockable. You unlock him at the end of the main story, you unlock him at the end of DLC 1, and you unlock him at the end of DLC 2. But at the end of DLC 2, when you unlock him, he's whatever level you had him at the end of DLC 1. And then the same thing for DLC 1. When you unlock him, he's at the same level that he was at the end of the main game. So I think that they'll do the same thing. They'll unlock this form, but what they'll do is replace this Trunks with this one. Once you get to that point in the story, it's going to say maybe future Trunks is playable or something to that effect. Or they could just change it into this Trunks. Because like I said, this Trunks in the main game in the first 2 DLCs was more or less just a precursor. It's just a toy, unlockable character is literally all it was. So I'm hoping that they kind of keep him the same character. Even I know people, you know what? Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Do you want this Trunks as a separate character? Or do you just want one character, similar to how they did with Gohan? Let me know in the comment section down below. We'll talk about that in a separate video. But like I said, they're showing the one-handed blast that he killed 18 with. And I was trying to zoom in here to try to see. It looks, I'm going to be honest with y'all. It doesn't look like he's wearing his Saiyan armor here. It doesn't. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit more. If you look at the silhouette, look at the silhouette. Those look like his baggy pants. Can you see the outline of them? Let me, right here. Look at the outline of those pants. That definitely doesn't look like Saiyan armor. It looks like his baggy pants. Yet we know that this is the move that he used against Cell. But regardless, when we get this Trunks, when we get to this point, guys, we are gonna have to train again to unlock these new moves and stuff like that. So that's really, really cool and really, really interesting as well. So like I told y'all in which video was it? We talked about it in this one. In this video here, an interesting speculation, I talked about how the game would be, I'm gonna put this in the pinned comment as well, because I talked about how this game would play very similar to Kakarot in that it would basically be a mini version of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, where we can go to different places, D-medals, all of that stuff, guys. If you don't have your D-medals, you need to be collecting those now, because not only D-medals and Z-orbs, because not only will Gohan be using them, we will need them for Gohan, but we'll also need them for Trunks as well, and possibly even this Trunks. Okay, so if you are playing the game right now, I don't think that it's a bad idea to get on this version of Trunks and collect as many Z-orbs as possible, because if they do it as a separate character, or even if they do it as they're not going to do this Trunks and the Trunks that we have in the game now as 2 different characters. If they use this Trunks, it's a very high possibility that even if they make it to where this Trunks and this Trunks is one character, they're going to pull this one from the one that we already have unlocked in the game. So it would behoove you to level him up and get as many Z-orbs on him as possible. That way you make the training transition better when it comes to leveling him up. But other than that, guys, I'm going to have to do a separate video breakdown of this. I'll probably do it later this evening, so definitely tune in for that, because I'm going to do that this evening. We're going to break down the playable Trunks here and what you need to do to get ready for DLC 3. But I'm in love with this. I like this. I like the way that they're going with it, and they've done exactly what I speculated that they would do. So awesome V-Jump, a lot of information, and it's crazy because there's not a lot of scans here. We still don't have an official release date here. They're just still talking about early summer. There is no official release date yet, which means we will more than likely get another V-Jump scan next month, which will be very interesting, by the way, because if we do, could there be another boss fight? Because like I said, they didn't advertise how difficult anybody would be. They talked about the difficulty of Android 17 and 18, but we know how easily Trunks defeated them. And we also know here, they even talk about him defeating Android 18 with one blast. With literally one hand, the one-handed blast. You know what I'm saying? That's boasting of his power. You see what I'm saying? And it kind of talked about that too with Cell as well. So it'll be interesting to see, guys. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Till next time, thanks for watching. Peace.